Cruise ship cabins come in all shapes and sizes, from suites to balconies to interiors. Which cabin is right for you? Ahoy travelers, it's Amy here to help you make your travel experience a success by helping you decide if an interior cabin is right for you. Our next cruise will be the first one with a balcony. So why do we usually stay in an interior cabin? And what made us finally choose a balcony? Over the years, balconies have become the most popular cabin type for cruisers. If you look at photos of the first cruise ships, they had few, if any, balcony rooms. Photos of ships from the 70s show a very different profile than what we see today. While balconies may be popular, that doesn't mean interior staterooms should be counted out. Many people choose to cruise in an interior room, so let's look at 5 reasons why you might want to choose an interior for yourself. 1. The cost. The number one reason most people choose an inside cabin is the cost savings. Depending on the line, ship, and itinerary, a balcony can cost almost twice as much as an interior stateroom. For us, like many others, choosing to forgo a balcony means that we can afford to cruise more often, or maybe afford some extras that we wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Instead of spending money on a balcony, we spend a little extra to choose a location we prefer on the ship. Maybe we get the drink package. Let's look at some examples between an interior and a balcony and what the cost would be. This 6-day cruise on the Carnival Magic is $679 for an interior and $969 for a balcony. Those are the base costs per person. Now that is a $280 difference, or close to $50 per person a day. A 7-day cruise on the Icon of the Seas is $1,895 for an interior. Yes, you heard that right. This is not a cheap ship. And $2,269 for a balcony. It's a difference of $374, or a little over $50 a day per person. When we look at Alaskan cruises, we see this change a little bit. A 7-day Alaskan cruise on the Carnival Luminosa shows an even greater difference, most likely due to how popular a balcony is on an Alaskan cruise. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. An interior is $949 with a balcony of $1,459. Now that's a $510 difference. An 11-day Alaskan cruise on the Nordam is $2,759 for an interior and $3,659 for a balcony, a $900 difference. Now, while $300 may not be a big difference for some people, for others it can be the difference between being able to afford a cruise or not. And what starts out as a $300 difference per person can grow as you choose the actual stateroom and location. So our second reason for choosing an interior is the excellent sleep you'll get. One of my favorite parts of an interior cabin is the lack of windows. Now, I know that some people may think that is crazy, but I have long said that if I were to build a house, I would want my bedroom to be in the basement without windows. Now that I work nights, I would love that even more. I have 3 windows in my bedroom, and they've got multiple curtains, darkening shades, everything, trying to keep out as much light as possible. When we cruise in an interior, I get that darkness. The ability to sleep in absolute darkness is wonderful. Many have claimed that they have had the best sleep of their lives while in an interior room on a cruise ship. Number 3, cooler rooms. Balcony rooms have large windows that can affect the temperature of the room. Most of the time, they will affect the temperature, especially if the curtains are open. And if you are going to spring for a balcony, why wouldn't you leave the curtains open, right? At least during the day. This can especially be an issue when in hot climates like the Caribbean. There is a reason why another name for a greenhouse is a hothouse. Number 4, less noise. Without a balcony or even a window like an ocean view cabin, inside cabins can often be quieter as they're less exposed to outside noises like waves, wind, or port sounds. Of course, if you have a cabin under the nightclub or the Lido deck, you're going to deal with noise no matter the cabin type. But I find that an interior cabin surrounded by other cabins means a quiet night's sleep. Number 5, encourages exploration. There is so much to do on a cruise ship that spending your days inside your cabin should be the last thing you want to do. And having an interior stateroom is going to encourage you to get out and explore that ship. Now for us, there is so much the ship has to offer that the only time we spend in our rooms is when we're asleep or getting ready to go out. Because of that, there's just less of a reason to pay extra for a balcony. I have a bonus reason for choosing an interior cabin, but before we get to that, if you enjoy this video and maybe even learn something, consider subscribing with the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any future posts. So our bonus reason is privacy. Windows mean there is always a chance that someone can look into your room. While this may not be an issue out at sea, while at port, it can be an issue, especially as some people get used to having the curtains open and forget that privacy is an issue while at port. Plus, there are a lot of places on a ship that allow guests to see people on their balconies. So if you're hanging out on your balcony, you better make sure to have your clothes on. None of these are an issue if you're in an inside room. These are all great reasons for choosing an inside cabin, and all are part of why we choose them. So why did we decide to splurge on a balcony for our next cruise? Because our next cruise is all about the views. We are headed to Norway at the end of August, and I am beyond excited. The fjords of Norway are surrounded by cliffs and mountains. The waters are clear and pristine, waterfalls, lush vegetation, charming villages. All of this makes for views that I know no camera can capture. I don't want to miss a minute of it, so we decided to spring for the balcony. Anytime you're on a cruise that is known for the views, that is a good time to go ahead and get that balcony if you can afford to do so. My mom and dad are headed out on an Alaskan cruise for their anniversary next year and booked themselves a balcony as the entire cruise follows along the shoreline to make the most of those Alaskan vistas. Typically, our cruises are Caribbean cruises, which means that you're out to sea except while in port. There's just nothing to see but lots of water, and there are plenty of public deck spaces to enjoy some time staring out across the vast ocean. So what are your thoughts? Would you be willing to cruise in an interior? If you are an avid cruiser, what type of stateroom do you usually book and why? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Are you ready for more information on cruising? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. And have a blessed week, everyone.